Hi, welcome back to the Power of Model Drawing. Today we are going to look at P5 and P6 drawing, and let's look at practice problem 1 to see how do we draw out the problem. Now, the first problem is an average problem. So when you see an average problem, there is a model that we draw which is called the division model, or I call it the average model. So when you draw the average model, when you don't know how many things are there, or you don't know how many people in the group. For example, the average height of a group of girls was 155 cm. So I don't know how many girls in the group. Then I will draw average model, which is actually a division model. So it will look something like this. Alright, so you have a group of girls, and we don't know how many girls are there in the group. So we just cut the first girl and the last girl, and then dotted line to show how many, we don't know how many girls are there. And the average means everyone is the same, right? Everybody is the same height, which is 155 cm, and over here is also 155 cm. Okay, that's how you draw this division model. Now, when 15 boys join the group, so what will happen to their total height? Now, when more boys join the group, then the total height will become bigger. So let's draw a longer rectangle, which is the total height of everybody, including the 15 boys. So what happened when 15 boys joined the group? The average height became 158 cm. So this is what we need to do. Now, you need to cut the first girl again, which is 158. Alright, of course, you have to cut a little bigger because 158 is bigger than 155. And the last girl, right over here, will be 158. Okay, also 158. And of course, we don't know how many girls are there. So dotted line. So what's the important lesson here? Now, because there are more boys who join the group, you will have to show the first girl and the first girl. You have to show these two boxes, which is the same person. And you also need to show the last girl and the same person, right, before you have the boys who join. Right, so it's important to show these two, right, the first person and the last person, before you start drawing more boxes for the boys. Alright, so now we can cut 15 boxes for the boys, but of course it's too many boxes. So what do? I will just label over here, and I will just put down 15 boys. So you have 15 boys who join the group. And because when the 15 boys join the group, the average height became 158 cm. So which means that every one of the 15 boys is also 158. Okay, 158. And of course, I use a dotted line to show that there are too many boxes to cut. So I use dotted line. So what is the purpose of dotted line? There are two reasons, all right? Two purposes for using the broken line. Now, when you do not know how many girls are there, then you use a broken line or dotted line. Or when you have too many boxes to cut, then you also can draw the broken line or dotted line. Okay, so that's how you draw the model, and let's continue. So given that the average height of the 15 boys was 165 cm, so which means that the rectangle has increased by how many when the 15 boys join? So the rectangle has increased by how many cm? You take the 15 boys, and what is the average height of these 15 boys? You multiply by 165, and you will get the total height of these 15 boys. So 15 times 165, and you will get 2,475 cm. So which means that the total height of everybody, right? Okay, right, the whole rectangle has increased by 2,475 cm. Okay, so how many girls are there in the group? So where do you put the question mark? You can put your question mark over here. So how many girls? You can also put your question mark below, which is until here. How many girls? Okay, so now we can use the model and solve already. Alright, so how do we do? Now, you compare the average. You can see that the average is 158, and then you have 155. So what's the difference in the average? So there's a difference of 3. Alright, 3. So from 155 to become 158. So where do you get the 3 more? Right, where do you get the 3 more so that every girl becomes, or every student become 158 cm? You are going to get the 3 more from here. Alright, that's why you need to show the last person before the boys join. So where is the last person? The last girl, which is, alright, the green line shows the last girl. Alright, and then over here you have the same person. Okay, let me just draw a bit nicely. So you have the same last person, which is over here, the same last person. So what's the number in between the green lines? What's the number in between? Alright, so you can find over here 15 boys. What is the height of these 15 boys? You take 15, alright, 15, and you multiply by 158, right, to get the height of these 15 boys. So 15 times 158, and you will get 2370. So the total height of these 15 boys is 2370. And then you take 2475 and you minus 2370. Right, so 2475 minus 2370, that will give you the difference. So you will get, alright, so you minus, and you will get 105. So in between the green lines, in between the dotted lines, you have 105. So where are you taking the 3 more? Where to take from to give every girl 3 more, so that each one of them is 158 cm. You take the 3 more from here. Alright, from here. So 105, and you give every girl 3 more. And then now everybody becomes what? Everybody now becomes 158 cm already. So you divide by 3, you will get 35. So which means that how many girls have you given 3 more to? You must have given to 35 girls, and over here also the same. So how many girls are there in the group? The answer is 35. Okay? So that's how you draw the model. Yeah, it looks a little hard to draw this average model, but once you understand how to draw, it is actually very simple, and you can use this model to solve different kinds of average problem, right? Even though you may not know how many in the group, but this model, if you are able to draw this model, then you will find that you can actually solve a lot of questions which are quite similar. Okay, let's go to number 2. Right, question number 2, and it looks quite hard, but actually again the model makes it very simple. So Ricky had just enough money to buy a toy car and a toy aeroplane. He spent 1/3 of his money on the toy car and the rest of his money on the toy aeroplane. And then Wilson spent a total of 168 to buy 3 toy cars and 2 aeroplanes. So how much did 1 toy car cost? Okay, so let's draw out the sentence. If you see the fraction, you can use that to draw the model. Okay, so which means that Ricky has 3 boxes cut into 3, alright, 3 boxes, and he used 1 box to buy the toy car. So this is your toy car, and the rest of his money, alright, to buy the toy aeroplane. Okay, toy aeroplane. Okay, I think I should draw the other way around, because when you label the rest of the money, it's always on the right side. Okay, but nothing wrong with this model. There's nothing wrong. Just that when we label, usually it's always left to right. Okay, what do I mean? Like for example, Ricky spent 1/3 of his money, so you always start from left to right. Okay, left. So this is a toy car, and the rest of the money is the right side. So when you read a storybook, it's always left to right. Right, same thing. You draw the model, it's always left to right. Alright, so you label, it's also left to right. Okay, so 2 boxes of the money are spent on the toy aeroplane. Okay, now Wilson spent a total of 168 to buy 3 toy cars and 2 aeroplanes. How to do this? How to draw? Well, 3 toy cars and 2 aeroplanes. So I'm going to draw something like this. Alright, so you draw a bit longer, and he bought 2 aeroplanes, so you cut 2 aeroplanes here. Okay, so now you have 2 aeroplanes already, and then you have 3 toy cars. So you have 1, 2, and 3. So 3 toy cars. Okay, and how much? How much is the 3 toy cars and 2 toy aeroplanes? So how much would that be? That will be $168. So I'm going to use dotted line, because so that we don't mess up the drawing. Alright, put the label a little bit further down, and this is the total money that Wilson has spent. So how much did 1 toy car cost? And question mark. And that's your model. Okay, and you are done. So you look at the model, you can see that 5 units is $168. So you just divide by 5. So 168 divided by 5, you will get $33.60. Right, so 1 unit is $33.60. And then you have solved the problem, because 1 toy car is 1 unit. So that's only 1 step. 1 step. Okay, and you can see that sometimes it can really be very easy when you draw the model, because if you don't draw the model, it is actually very hard. But once you draw the model, you can see that sometimes it's only 1 step. Right, so how much did 1 toy car cost? Which is $33.60. Okay, alright, so we are done. Okay, we are done with this P5 model drawing lesson. So we are coming to the end of the model drawing lesson soon. So we will be doing until lesson 20. So there'll be 20 lessons, right? 20 model drawing lessons for upper primary model and lower primary model. So 20 lessons each. So I believe that is enough for you to practice your drawing, all right? To use the lesson to practice. All right, so after the model drawing lesson, we want to move on to something different because model drawing is just one big method. It's only one method. There are still other methods that that we can use to solve other questions. So which means that sometimes when you do when you look at the exam questions, there will be some questions that you can't draw a model. So you will have to think of other ways, other methods, and that is where we want to go, right? We want to be focusing on other methods as well. So hopefully, through all these lessons, you will have a good understanding of what methods are out there that you can use to solve different kinds of problem. All right, so I'll see you in the next lesson. So stay tuned for the next lesson.